Good evening. Good evening. How we doing out there? Welcome, 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 welcome. It is time to elevate. I want to thank each and every person that has made it to this live stream tonight. Okay, I just want to thank you because the information I'm going to share tonight, somebody gonna need it. And the reason why I decided to do this on day 2 is because I believe that a lot of people that were really interested in elevating their life will come for the second day. Day 1 is the big rah-rah, the last live stream, everybody's good, and we got through the health section, right? We got through the health section. But day 2, we about to go a little deeper, and I want you guys to understand some truths that I went through, right? And I want you to understand some truths that you may go through, right? So what I want to do first is let's give glory and honor to the Most High, glory and honor to God for having us on this live stream right now together in unison, ready to elevate. People that have made a decision to listen to some things that may elevate them, some things that may, go deep into their soul. And I'm just a messenger, y'all. So if you get anything out of this, don't praise me. I want you to praise God, all right? That's what I want you to do. So with that being said, we're going to talk about the supernatural power of fasting. How do we regain control of our lives? And the only reason I'm going to be able to speak on this with such discernment and truth is because you guys know I'm very transparent with my journey. I'm very transparent on the things that have shaped me to be the person I am. I don't hold any filters and I give as much as I can, right? And I feel like for us to get to where we want to get to as a people, that's the type of energy we're going to have. So on the first live stream, we talked about how to cleanse your body on a cellular level. We talked about how to detoxify your body. We talked about the raw vegan diet and things of that nature. But I'm going to be honest with you, y'all. You can go Google a raw vegan diet right now if you wanted to. I'm not telling you nothing crazy. I'm not telling you nothing supernaturally special about food, right? And a lot of people that won't make it to this live stream, that's what they were looking for. They were looking for somebody to tell them a magic pill or a magic thing about food that was going to clear all the issues in their life, all the drama, all the toxic activities, everything that's been going on, the nagging pains, the injuries. I told you what the truths were about food, right? So if you're here for another reason. Sometimes you come somewhere for a certain cause, but you end up getting exactly what you need out of it, and that's why you're here. So can I talk to you a little bit more? Can we go a little deeper? I feel like yesterday was a little shallow, in my opinion, based on what I know to be true. So if I don't get some yeses in the comments, I won't continue. But if I get some yeses and some fireballs and let's get it done, then we're going to continue. Let me know. Let me know. Let me know. Now, quick disclaimer, because I value my YouTube channel, I'm going to talk, and sometimes I got to watch what I say due to how all the censorship happens these days. You know what I'm saying? I want to keep it so I can get the information. You know what I'm saying? I want to keep the energy high. I want to give it to you. You know what I'm saying? So bear with me at some points if I start to stop and think a little bit, because I want to make sure I can keep this going for you guys. Now, you guys know I don't go live often. I like to channel that energy. So let's talk about the supernatural power of fasting. So look, you may be sick. You may be tired. You may have brain fog. You may be mentally exhausted, going through some type of warfare. Anybody been feeling like that? Ever felt like that? We talked about how it happens on a cellular level. Have you ever felt like that deeply within your soul, like you're just tired and you got a lot going on? The human experience has become more than you can handle. Have you ever felt like that? Right? I'm going to tell you some cold, hard truths that's going to probably clear about half of the people on this call. But I got to speak them this way so you understand that this is nothing to play with, that you are nothing to play with, that your health is nothing to play with, that your spirit is nothing to play with. I'm going to speak some cold, hard truths on this call that may make some people uncomfortable. But I have to deliver this message. All right. The first truth is, we may know this, but do we really know this? We are only on this earth for a limited time, y'all, in this human suit. We are going to die. The average life expectancy is about maybe 75, 76 years old. Guess what? A lot of people don't even make it there because it's skewed with people that are super healthy and people that just don't make it at all. A lot of you guys have been trying to find your peace half your life. After you became a kid and the world hit you and things like that, you've been actually spending your adulthood trying to find peace, trying to find good health, trying to find happiness. I used to be there. That's why I can speak like this. I'm not somebody that's going to read you a book and tell you I ain't been through the fire. We end up spending our entire adult lives trying to find ourselves. Taking care of our necessary obligations, doing what the world has told us to do, getting these jobs, getting these resources, scrolling social media, and then trying to find ourselves, feeling sick, feeling depressed, feeling toxic, brain fog, can't see, can't think, don't know what's going on. Warfare all over the place. Believing and not believing, 1 foot in, 1 foot out. At church, then on shade room. Am I talking to somebody right now? That stops tonight, y'all. I got some things to talk to you about. That stops tonight. Who's ready for it to stop? This ain't about no raw vegan. I'm going to tell you that right now. Sometimes you come for something and you get something that you really need. I'm going to be honest with you. I don't care if you join Raw Vegan Challenge. If you want to, you can. If you want a community of people that are doing the same thing to elevate their life, you can do it. Or you can do it by yourself. Go on Google. Get a guide. I don't care. I promise you. So we're going to keep talking, okay? Is anybody ready to lead this call? Because I got more. You got $200 in the you got $200 in the club. You got $2 in the offering jar if you do go to church. Now, if you want things to change, we can make them change. One thing that I know to be true, if you want change, and I had to apply this to my life because I got to a point in my life where I couldn't go no more, I couldn't see no more, I couldn't do no more. I said, somebody told me you need to fast, pray, and sacrifice. I just heard it. I don't know who told me it. So you know what I did? I said, you know what? At this point in my life, my thinking has got me to this point. So I need to fast. I need to pray. And I need to sacrifice. Now, the thing about that is these things aren't tangible. They don't give you a result. They're not transactional. You can't go to the store and say, can I get a little bit of that fast, pray, and sacrifice? Can you change my life? You can't get that on aisle 2. Nor can you get it on aisle 3. Can I get a little bit of that sacrifice and turn my life around? How much? You got it on discount? It ain't on discount. It's going to cost a lot. What are you willing to pay? You've been paying for a lot of other things. You've been paying with your attention. You've been paying with your health. You've been paying with your toxic environments and relationships. I was there. I paid with all those things. Drugs, alcohol, toxic environments, not taking care of myself, not stretching, not cleaning my body, not watching who I'm around. It's a human experience. We're all living it. Literally our first times. I don't debate with people about how my faith is because this is literally our first time. When you have a personal relationship with God, you don't got time to be on the internet debating about it. You too busy cultivating that relationship. All this debating and who's doing what. And this is how you're supposed to live. Have you lived more than one time? You tell me that. If you haven't, you need to follow something, because if you're neutral, you are at the most susceptible to being blown over by this world. If you are neutral, if you're going to pick a side, pick one, but don't waver. Don't go back and forth. This ain't about that. It is hard. I'm not perfect. Oh yeah, the devil wants you to drift. You will drift. You will slide. But do you know what side that you stand for? Or are you just a neutral zombie waiting to be taken over? Because if you're neutral, that's the worst thing you can do. Because the enemy knows more than you know about what you need to be knowing things about. It's practicing it just as much as you do. That's why it can manifest in your life and you don't know what's going on, because it just manifesting however it wants to. You've been going through spiritual warfare for so long, you're still waiting for the boogeyman to show up in your room. You're not going to see it. It's manifesting in things that you think are good for you. That's why you get put in cycles and perpetual cycles over and over again, because you think that you can't see. You know why? Because you got too many things hanging on you. You haven't fasted. You haven't sacrificed. You haven't prayed. You haven't done any of those things. You know of them. You speak of them. You can even debate it online. Everybody can debate it online, but are we going to be a living testimony and just walk and let it be shown? Is this too much, yo? Because I could stop. I told you I needed you to be here for day 2 for this. I wanted everybody from day 1 that did not understand to not be on this call. The energy has to be right. I want you here right now. You're here for a reason. So let's talk about fasting, because I talked about this on one of my old videos about the supernatural power of fasting, right? And I'm going to tell you, I'm a why guy. Why is fasting so powerful? So we're going to go deep into fasting today, twofold. We're going to recap some things that some of you may have already heard in one of my past videos. If you haven't, it's going to be your first time. We're going to talk about fasting though. Okay, I'm going to give you the definition of fasting and tell you why. Why would you fast? Why would you sacrifice? Why would you cut off what's hanging on you? And why would you come on the other side feeling brand new? Why does that happen? Why do you do a fast and you always feel good? Why are there thousands of people in my comments talking about when they fasted, they felt a certain way and they need to get back to that? Why does this keep happening? Why? So I'm a word guy. I like to study words. I'm not about just somebody telling me something. I need to study the words. So let's just go into a basic word, a basic definition of fasting, right? Fasting, the abstinence from food or drink or both for health, ritualistic, religious, or ethical purposes. That's the definition of fasting. I'm going to leave it right there. So let's say the absence of food or drink or both for health, ritualistic, religious, or ethical purposes. So if we already know what health means, but let's go deeper into the definition of fasting once again. We got a word called ritualistic inside the definition of fasting, right? There's a word called ritualistic. Ritualistic, let's look at that definition. Relating to the characteristic of rituals follow as part of a religious or solemn ceremony, invariably performed the same way. That's inside the definition of fasting. Let's go into another word that's inside the definition of fasting. Ethical. What does ethical mean? Relating to moral principles or the branch of knowledge dealing with good or being morally correct. There's another definition of ethical. Avoiding activities or organizations that do harm to people or the environment. Those are all inside the definition of fasting, right? Let's go even deeper. Let's talk about solemn ceremony marked by the invocation, sanction, or a Solomon marked by the observance established for a ceremony. That's inside the definition of fasting, solemn ceremony. Specifically celebrated with full liturgical ceremony, right? These are all inside the definition of fasting, yo. I'm not even touching and scratching the surface yet on what I really want to talk to you about. But let's go a little bit deeper. Let's just look at one more word. Let's look at the word liturgical. Liturgical says relating to liturgy or public worship. So I fasted. You know, if you guys don't know, I ate raw fruits and vegetables for 90 days, ended up being over 200 because I just kept going. I was like, yo, this is amazing, right? I did it for 90 days and I came out a brand new person. Something that I didn't even know was in me got unlocked. A hidden power about me was it was an elevation that I did not understand, and I would not have understand if I tried to understand it before I went in. So here's the problem with a lot of us. We want to understand and know the outcome when it comes to our spirit, but that does not have an outcome. You can't see. You can see mediocrity. You can't see greatness. You know exactly where to go to be toxic. You know exactly where to go do some things you're not supposed to. You know exactly where to go to engage with that drama. You know where to go. It's right there. You know exactly what turn to make. You know how to put it in the GPS. You know where to start your car. You know who to pick up. You know who to drop off. You know what time to be there. But when it comes down to your healing in your spirit, that's where we stop. We want to touch everything. We want to know. We want to be skeptical. We want to be dismissive. I don't know. We don't go to Olive Garden and ask them, hey, did you butter those biscuits in vegan butter or is that regular butter? But it would come down to something that's good for us or our health. Oh, I got all the questions in the world. Let me Google it. Let me check with my doctor, which you should at times. Let me call my husband so we can both disagree together. Let me call my wife because she's going to disagree. It's going to make me disagree. And I knew I didn't need that. Let me go be miserable and go back to mediocrity. That's how we move. That's how we move. If I'm speaking to somebody, let me know. So I told you to stop tonight, y'all. All these things were already in the definition of fasting. You got ritualistic, you got ethical purpose, morally good and correct, avoiding activities and organizations that do harm people or the environment, a liturgical ceremony, a Solomon ceremony, being marked, right? Public worship. This is already in the definition of fasting. What do you think is going to what do you think is going to happen when you fast? That's why you feel like that. It's already written. All you got to do is look at the definition. So ask yourself, is this what you want to experience or what do you want to experience what you've been going through all your life? That's why when you fast, you be like, oh my goodness, I need to get back to that. Well, go do it again. You know, humans, we're not supposed to be eating every day and every hour. Did y'all know that? We're not wired like that. Wait till tomorrow. What I talk to you about tomorrow might blow your mind. We're not wired like that. We're not supposed to be around people every day either. Solitude is your superpower. There is times for you as a person to do your miracles, to do what you need to do, to go in this world. And there's a time for you to focus on discipleship. You, your truth, and the people that you really need to, ground and cultivate. You're not supposed to be all over the place all the time. That's how you go haywire. A lot of people think you weird when you don't be of the world. People be thinking I'm crazy because I be by myself all the time. I be like, yo, the world's weird. It's a lot going on. I don't want it. Can't be going in the house with all that film on. You ever be out somewhere, you in a club or you doing something, you come back and you had a good time. When you sit down in your own space, you feel like you got film on you and all types of weird stuff. Taking a shower, getting in the bed, uncomfortable. You got a nice bed, but that joint feel like a cot now. You can't sleep. Bed feel like a cot. You tossing and turning, air conditioner not working. You sweating, having tremors. Waking up the next day all out of place, going to the bathroom, throwing up. Talk about that was a wild night. And you throwing up and bowel movements all wild. Unspeakable things in the toilet. Talk about I'm never drinking again. What is that? I did that before. That's why I could talk about it like that. The food is weaponized to a certain extent. I'm gonna leave it at that. Remember what I said, y'all. So what do we do? I didn't know what was going to happen when I fasted. See, sometimes when it comes down to this faith thing, when it comes down to really moving in your spirit, sometimes the things you have to go through are only going to make sense in reverse. Most of the time. That's what faith really is. You can't see it. You can't predict it with your own thinking. Your thinking has got you this far when you really need to have faith. The problem with us is we try to figure out things based on our own thinking when it hits us. See, it's easy to tell somebody about it. It's easy to point somebody in the right direction. It's easy to sacrifice when it really don't involve you. But what happens when you have to bring yourself to the table and you got to trust? I used to be that person, y'all. I was blessed with some gifts, right? And I don't know why. It just is what it is. But it came a time in my life where I couldn't give nobody else no more advice because it was time for me to bring me to the table. I feel like there's going to be a time in your life where you have to bring you to the table. A lot of us get our purpose and we get our sense of belonging by solving other people's problems while we got a storm of problems going on in our life. And after we solve somebody else's problem, we go back to our little hut and we like, man, I feel good. And then you sit in and you got to look at all your problems. That's a reflection. That's something that you need to address. How do you address it? You got to get rid of everything that's hanging over. You can't be saving the world your whole life if you're not doing it. Sometimes there's a door meant for you, and you got to let everybody go and go through that door. You got to go unlearn, relearn, recondition yourself, build your connection with God, come back and help the people. You being unhealed, trying to give unhealed advice is not helping anybody. To a level, it will, because if you have some discernment and you have some things that you know to be true about the world, if you can move in a certain way, it'll work. But you're going to hit a roadblock. It don't matter how much money you got, who you are, what you've been through. It's inevitable. And you're going to see a lot of y'all are powerful. There's so much power on this call. I believe so. You'll climb the ladder. And you keep getting hit at the ladder and you keep looking for something external to get you up the ladder, not knowing the reason why you're not moving up that ladder because it's something that's inside you that needs to be fixed. There's an imbalance inside and you keep looking outside. See, this level, it varies depending on who you are. Like somebody's level 10 could be somebody's level 7, but we all going to be going up, trying to go up this level within our human experience. And we all have these blockers. Believe you me, I was a success at one. Like you would have told, if you would have thought something was wrong with Gee Bryant, based on what he had acquired of this world, somebody that is of this world would be like, man, what you got going on? Even I hit a roadblock. This is even crazier, y'all. I couldn't even speak to you from this point if I didn't go through the fast. How many people need this right now? I had a gift, right? God blessed me with a gift. I've always been able to speak to a certain extent, right? But to speak on this level to you, I didn't do it till I came out the fire. I probably could have gave you some motivation and some rah-rah, some intellectual thoughts and made some things from that were complex look simple. I could have probably put an M equals MC squared. I could have probably told you a couple things that would have came right off the top and sounded so eloquent and so good, but it wasn't this. It wasn't this. It wasn't this. I didn't know about this. Put it even like this. I went through a fast. I didn't even know I'd be talking to y'all about fruits and vegetables and raw vegan. I didn't even know this like 6 months ago, yo. That's what letting God move in your life looks like. I just want to be a testimony. Sometimes you don't need teaching, you need testimony. Everybody here understanding that they need some type of message. I didn't know. You know how many times I denied this? I got businesses and stuff going on. I got other things I could be doing. I'm like, I don't need to be teaching about health and raw vegan anymore. I had gyms and online. I don't need any online business. I did that already. Why am I still here? Because this is where I'm supposed to be. Because it's not my direction. And I had to answer the call. You understand that? So a lot of you guys got gifts, right? And you always hear this, and I said this before, your gift will make room for you, right? I hate to be the bearer of bad news. Your gift won't make room for you until you make room for your gift. There's a gift waiting for you. You have it, but you have not made room for it. Most people going, oh, your gift is going to make room for you all. Yeah, it will, but you got to do something. You got to make room. You got to cut off the things that are making you have bad thoughts, anxiety, depression, not operating as your highest self, things lingering on you, battling spirits and demons you can't see. How your gift going to shine through when you got all that going on? You got to make some room. You got to make things happen. When I was a child, I spoke as a child. I am a man. You can't speak the same way when you was a child thinking you're going to be blessed. You was already blessed in the condition that you've been in. You're alive. You have breath. You've been blessed. You can't go play both sides of the playing field saying, hey, you want to do what you want to do and say, hey, God, can you come bless my life? It don't work like that. Can you give me my gift? It don't work like that. You got to make a sacrifice. But I know because the world where we live in, we can't really see because it's so, you know what I'm saying? There's so much going on. We got TikTok dances every single up a couple 2 weeks. You know what I'm saying? Everybody TikToking, right? We got new investments every week. The government, we got politics, we got Instagram, we got reels, we got all this stuff. So we ain't got time. It's too distracting. The bid is for your attention. Where's your attention? Hey, listen, I ain't saying I'm perfect. I understand them struggles on social media. I understand. I got businesses on social media. I had to leave social media for years because I understood what was going on. These different planes of existence, social media set up its own governing board, its own rules. It's a whole society. You know what's crazy about social media? We are so indoctrinated to the social media. We lost all empathy and humanity. You can get canceled on social media, be standing here, sitting here in physical form and flesh, get canceled on social media, be cool here. You have to go back on social media to uncancel yourself. That's wild. And then everybody looks for you to make a statement on social media to uncancel yourself when you're sitting here in the real world. I'm like, that's bizarre. I see people crying, I'm canceled on. What? That's why I be leaving social media, y'all. Look, I promise you, dog. Like, I don't even be wanting to be online sometimes, y'all. All my timelines be blocked. I don't be watching none of that. I'm not going to get too deep into this because it really will boggle my mind. Social media is good in some ways, but it has got completely out of control, y'all. And in the moment you've been thinking you in control, you're not in control no more. That's spiritual warfare in itself, the things that are promoting and keeping you stuck in sleep. There's an agenda behind that. Do you know that? I'm gonna talk about spiritual warfare real quick, right? And fasting. Let's talk about this real quick. Because I need y'all to understand this. I need y'all to understand this. See, the reason why a lot of people can't really understand belief and faith is because I'm gonna keep it 100 because a lot of people are not gonna talk to you like this. I'm sorry. And a lot of people gonna be rough about this. Because of the times where people are getting their faith from, where it originated, I'm talking about like the ancient times and things of that nature. You can look into the Bible. A lot of things don't look or sound the same. So when we get into this world and we're trying to establish faith based on something and the times have changed, we can't really see the connection. Like we know we're supposed to, but we don't really feel it because it don't look or sound the same. That's most people that are neutral. They don't really understand, right? But I'm gonna tell you how this thing works. Whatever the enemy is doing, it's going to manifest in the way you're most susceptible to receive it. So if you're somebody that's like addicted to social media, your phone, guess where your warfare is at? It's going to be right here. If it's a toxic relationship or you can't stop dating or doing things like that, you're going to keep having these things manifest in front of your face. Once you beat one, guess believe it's going to manifest somewhere else where you're most susceptible to receive it. So if you're walking around neutral and don't have no armor on or no spiritual discernment or understanding about your life, you're falling for anything thinking you know what you're doing. Your level of thinking has gotten you this far. Some of y'all think y'all fighting a mind battle or a health battle. You're fighting a whole spiritual battle. I had to learn that. I could tell you many stories. I'm like, all right, like I got to handle it this way. I'm trying to handle it this way. I'm like, all right, man, you know what? It got to a point, man, I had to surrender. I just had to give it away because I couldn't fight the battle and I couldn't see where it was coming from. I had eyes. I've been blessed with some, but I couldn't see. It was so much. I hit that wall spiritually, thinking I knew it, trying to put things together myself. And I was a person that was like that, yo. Let's speak truth. I couldn't make it make sense all the way because I'm like, yo, it was these times that we got towers and apartments. I don't see none of that. I don't get it. But do you walk by faith and not by sight? That's what that quote means. So none of this apartment and all this TikTok and all this, I guess that's not faith. That's sight. So if I'm looking at that saying I can't get here because of that, I'm not walking by faith. Faith is letting it all go. Faith is surrendering. Faith is sitting down and say, you know what? I just got to believe, and I can't put my own timeline on this. And you can't care what it looks like. You got to be on fire about your life. You got to be ready to light that fire about your life. You can't care what it looks like. You can't care what the people going to say. You can't care what they're going to judge. You can't care if they throw stones at you. You can't. You can't. Because it's going to look crazy to the world. I told you last night, we can't be conformed by this world. It's the renewing of our minds. Both of them, though. This mind and the gut mind. We talked about yesterday. We always hear about that quote about renewing your mind. Do you know this mind and this mind, you got to clean yourself out on both levels. That's why they fast. Why do you think every time something happens or a major thing happens or somebody needs a blessing, it's always fasting going on in the Bible? It'd be fast. I can give you almost 50 to 100 scripture about fasting. Sometimes you're moving faster than your mentality. Your life, it's going crazy. And your mentality is kind of trying to keep up, but your life is just... It's time to cut off what's been hanging on you, yo. Let me talk to you guys real quick. If you're ready to cut it off, say I'm cutting it off tonight. You ready to elevate? Say you ready to elevate tonight. Put it in the comments. Let me know. It stops tonight for a lot of people. Listen, I don't get on here often, yo. I promise you. I'm not one of those guys that's gonna be on here talking and talking and talking and talking and talking. Is it too much? I really want to understand if it's too much. If it's too much, I'll stop. I promise you I'll stop. Let me tell you something, right? This might clear the call as well. This might clear the call. A lot of y'all are trying to hold on to things that God's been telling you to release. God's been telling you to release them for a long time. You've been holding on. Freedom does exist. Clarity of mind does exist. No anxiety does exist, but you keep holding on. Listen, I only speak like that because I was there. I literally for me to do this call, I have to transport myself back to those times because I don't have any of that anymore. I used to deal with that stuff. You can only show so much on social media. A lot of you guys only know me as a digital avatar. Like y'all just see me like an avatar on digitally. So you can't really know what's going on. It's crazy how people think they know what's going on when they don't. Nobody knows what anybody's going on in their life. And if you're still trying to piece together 15-second clips to get information about people or get information about your life or heal yourself, you're in the wrong business. That's why I like YouTube and be able to talk to you long form. People come in my Instagram and try to be giving me tips about my 15-second clip. I'll be like, yo, get lost, bucko. I don't reply. Like, what? What are you talking about? It did. Did you know that you said this? You can say you like mangoes, but what about apples? And don't forget pears. Did you know cherries? I'm like, bro, what's wrong with you? Relax. So a lot of y'all got some things you got to cut off. And you need to get offline and stop looking for information and trying to piece it up. I'm glad I got you here. A lot of y'all don't even know how y'all got here. This is your first time hearing me or seeing me. I'm glad you're here. Welcome. Welcome. Nice to meet you. Welcome to the G Code. It's a little different over here. Sorry. Because you're in love with your thoughts. See, you start to have this relationship with your thoughts. You have a better relationship with your thoughts than you have with God. You rather go back and forth with your thoughts than give it to God. You love your thoughts. It's toxic. A lot of us have these trauma bonds to our own thoughts. And when you start feeling good, you're like, okay, I got over it. You have a good day or a good week. And you think that's how it's supposed to be. And then you know a bad week. You're always waiting for the other shoe to drop. And then you're distracting yourselves. You're restless. You're trying to acquire resources. You're trying to get with other people. You're trying to do things. You're trying to have relationships. You're trying to do all these things. And then you get back down to yourself. And then you just love your thoughts. Trying to figure it out. Banging your head against the wall all night. Instead of just giving it away. Give it away. Give it away. Give it away. I couldn't even tell you to give it away 6 months ago because I didn't go through the fire. I can only I can get on here and stand in total truth and discernment and tell you to give it away because I have experience. A lot of it. And I think I've been through so many things that people don't know. And I always used to ask, why me? Why I chosen for so many things to go through? It's because sometimes the things you go through is the exact reason why God will use you. You don't get cut because of your past. You get cut for your future. To be an example of what God can do in someone's life, to shine that light. Yeah, a lot of people can read about it. They can talk to you about it. But have you seen any fire and have you seen any remnants of them going through the fire? They come out smelling like no smoke and then telling you and talking to you? Huh? So when I say clean your cells, I also mean clean yourself. Get all that other stuff out your body. That's why the Raw Vegan Challenge is here. I told you before the beginning of this call, I don't care if you do the Raw Vegan Challenge. Go on Google, find a raw vegan diet and start. Fruits and vegetables. We're going to talk about God's original design for food tomorrow. If you want to join the Raw Vegan Challenge, you can. Come join us. Come join me and the G Code. There's a lot of people in here that's done it already. Stop being so skeptical about your life. Go be skeptical about KFC, please. Go keep drinking Coca-Cola, and don't be skeptical. Go do that. And I'm gonna be real transparent. Let's talk about resources and money and attracting abundance. Once you get right internally, everything just starts working. It works in a certain way. It's not your planning. You're gonna attract abundance and things that you want in your life. You can get blessed. You got to be right internally. Sometimes God's not even gonna bless you with it because can you even trust yourself? Like if you get the favor, if you get the power, what will you do with it? I'll tell you, if I had the favor, or if I didn't go through the fire, I promise you I'd have been towing it 1 foot in, 1 foot out, leading people astray. I couldn't stand in this truth. I know that because I could talk about it now. Somebody said, G's consistent. This is me regular, yo. There is no drop off. I'm always like this. There's no drop off. Yes, I'm very stern in business. Yes, I can talk crazy. Yes, I stand up for the people that I believe in. No, I'm not perfect. Yes, I got a humorous, side. I'm not walking around here like a stick or a log with a concrete coat on. No, but this is my truth. Yes, I can get real solid. I can get real grounded and relaxed, and I can talk a different way, and I can cut fruit, and I can be eloquent, and also I can be on fire. The truest form of elevation is understanding all sides of yourself and letting them reign free when they need to. Do you know who you are? A lot of us look at ourselves and we're foreign with ourselves. We don't know who we are. We don't know our body. We look at our body as this thing that just malfunctions. You're scared of it. You just ask the doctor about all of it, and they're supposed to give you the answer. You don't got no answers about your whole body. You don't know nothing about it. A lot of us don't even know nothing about ourselves. We know what the world thinks we are, but we sit in a room and we don't know who we are. That's why you can't take that path. Let's talk business and finances for a second, because this affects it all. A lot of people you out here buying everything online, trying this course, that course, going to this teaching, because you can't see what's for you. You haven't made room for your gift, so you're trying to put your gift into other people's things. Now, I'm not saying everybody's thing is wrong, but if you don't know what your thing is, it's not going to work for you. I've been there. I used to do like mad businesses and they would fail. Like some of them would fail. People don't know that I got successful businesses, but I had ones that were just so toxically built. Me just trying to do things, trying to do other people's things, not listening and getting my message like, yo, is this your thing? Are you going to put time into this? You know, you only got one life. Like not vetting the person, see if their energy aligned, not knowing if my energy was well. Can I even trust myself? Why am I going into a thing that if I'm trying to get trust from someone or trust from a situation and I can't trust myself, this is all messed up. A lot of us are our own problem. We the problem. You the problem. Sometimes you got to check you. When you check you, that's when things start changing. If you tell yourself the truth, you can never be lied to again. See, when I told myself the truth about me and that it had to be about me and it was not me and I was not the victim no more, that I had to take control, good or bad, anything that happened in my life, and then I had to give it to God, that's when the things changed. My relationships got better. My business got better. My stress levels went down. I know who, when, where, what, and why. Everything's on a narrow path. You don't need all this other stuff. It's simplicity in your life. You start elevating. And even if the monetary gain ain't adding, the spiritual currency is worth so much more. Who wants spiritual currency? Huh? Who wants spiritual currency? You got to fast. You got to sacrifice. You got to pray. You ain't got to do it with me. You got to do it, though. If you're on this call, that's what you're here for. I just want to be the person that told you. You got to seek the face. If you get stuck, like the thing about it is, the crazy part is, you can get somewhere doing things your own way. I used to think I was a Superman, like nothing could touch me. You can get somewhere of what the world thinks. Like the world might clap you up. The world might clap you up and tell you good. Like, yeah, but you gonna hit a wall. If you hit that wall, I'm gonna tell y'all something, right? This is something I battle every day. I get hundreds of emails, messages, things that can potentially take me to the next level. Career opportunities, TV. I've been getting it my whole life. I be turning all that down, yo, for the most part. Because I don't like what comes with it. Now, I am vetting things and creating some of my own things. You know, I'm very busy, but it's like, I don't be wanting that. I like being clear here. I don't want nobody telling me and swaying me because I don't know your intentions. I don't know what you're trying to disguise yourself as. I do. I can sense it, but I'm just saying that's how I be. So every single opportunity, you got to learn how to know your vitamins. Some of y'all spread so thin because you done gave out all these yeses and you haven't vetted where those yeses are going. A lot of people using you and abusing you in the name of telling you they love you, or in the name of what you can do for them. But as soon as you try to stand up and do something for yourself, there's a problem. And you keep double checking and seeing if you gotta tiptoe and say, well, should I do it or should I not do it? Oh, this is the last time. And you keep doing it. Anything that is not in alignment with your higher self, it's time to cut it off unapologetically. Stop doing it. I'm gonna tell you something about the people that love you. If you say no to someone that loves you, they won't stop loving you. Simple. They're not going to talk bad about you when you leave the table. They just going to take it. That'll cut out like 90% of the people in your life. Tell somebody no. See what happened. Can we go a little deeper, y'all? Can I go a little deeper? Can I? Let's talk about it. Let's get into a little bit of scripture, right? Let's get into scripture. I'm going to read some scriptures to you guys about fasting, right? Nehemiah 1:4, right? As soon as I heard these words, I sat down and wept and mourned for days, and I continued to fast and pray before the God of heaven. I'm just going to read them. Joel 2:12-13, right? Yet even now declares the Lord, return to me with all your heart, with fasting, with weeping, and with mourning, and rend your hearts and not your garments. Return to the Lord your God, for he is gracious and merciful, slow to anger and abounding, and steadfast with love. Let's read one more. Daniel 10, right? 2-3. In those days, I, Daniel, was mourning for 3 weeks. I ate no delicacies, no meat, or no wine entered my mouth, nor did I anoint myself at all for the full 3 weeks. I can read you like So many scriptures about fasting. I'm gonna bring up one more, right? I'm gonna put it up on here. I'm gonna bring up one more. Matthew 6:16, right? When you fast, do not look somber as the hypocrites do. Woo! For they disfigure their faces to show others they are fasting. Truly, I tell you, they have received their reward in full. But when you fast, put oil on your head and wash your face, so that it will not be obvious to others that you are fasting, but only to the Father who is unseen, and your Father who sees what is done in secret will reward you. I'm gonna let that marinate for a second. We talked about the definition of fasting. When you wash your face, when you fast, when you go into that place, when you go into that space that you know you need to go, when you sit down in those spaces, in that waiting room, bring the scripture back up. What you've done in secret, you will be rewarded. You're going to have some hypocrites that's going to say they doing that and then turning up their face and they going to think they doing what they supposed to be doing and it's going to look good while you fasting. That's what's going to happen. It's going to look good. You're going to be like, I'm missing out. What's for you will not pass you. Take your time with yourself. This is the time. It stops today. If you feel like things are going to stop for you today, say it stops now. Put it in the comments. Affirm yourself. Say it stops now. Say it stops now. This is the night, y'all. It's time to move. I know what a lot of y'all been through. I know you think you got a story. I know you got a story. I know things have been hard. I know things have been tough. I know you've been trying to figure it out yourself. I had many nights, dark rooms, candles, warfare, can't sleep. We all got a story, y'all. Many nights when it gets dark. You ever get to the point where you love going to sleep and hate waking up? Things like that. Trying to figure it out. Who's for me? Who's against me? I don't know. It stops now, y'all. You can live your truth. You can walk that path. You can elevate. You can be who you're supposed to be. You can be that grand vision you have for yourself. It's true. You can have it. It's time for y'all to loosen up some of them shoulders and get on fire about what matters. We so loud and on fire about all the things that don't matter. You on fire about shade room. You on fire about who's doing what. You're on fire about this person relationship and that person relationship. You're on fire about how much money that person got. You checking that pocket. You on fire about that TV show. When you gonna get on fire about your life? It stops right now. It's time for you to get on fire about your life. It's time for you to get on fire about your life. Speak it. Let this be normal. People be looking at me like I'm crazy. I'm like, no, this is normal. I walk a certain path. I know what it comes with. And I've already stood fast and said, you know what? I'm ready to deal with it. I don't care what it comes with. You can't tell me what I've been through. I'm not perfect. I don't know everything, but I never can act like what God did in my life did not happen. You know why? You want to know something else too? Because I played both sides of the playing field, I know both sides of the playing field. If you know what I'm saying. I've been on both sides. That's how real this is to me. Because I know what the other side is. I've been in that. I know what that looks like. Not on somewhere I'm fighting, on somewhere by sometimes my ignorance or sometimes me just wanting to be there. I played in that realm. I know what it looks like. Being a truth seeker and trying to find out what's going on in the world. And I know. So I know the worst thing about that is being neutral and not having anything to stand on, any firm foundation. You're once a week seeking. Who's the once a week seeker? And I'm not even talking about going to church. I'm just talking about when things go wrong once a week, you want to pray and try to figure out. No, you need to have it on your mind all the time. Giving your health to other people's opinions. Ooh, I wish I could talk about this on live stream. They might ban my channel if I start talking about this. I'm going to keep it right here. We might talk. If you're a gold attendee, I'm going to talk to you about some stuff. All my gold attendees that'll be on Zoom after this. Almost came up, but I already know. I got to chill for a second. I got to keep it cool. So let me tell you guys something, right? Sometimes you got to blow your own world up before the world blows you up. You'll get to the point in your life that if you don't blow it up, the world will blow you up. And some of us is on that breaking point. You're tired. You're out of control. You're making chaos look good. But behind that mask, you're crying. Behind that mask, you don't feel good. You can't make good decisions. Anxiety through the roof. You feel stuck at a dead-end job. Business won't start. That's not normal. Our health issues. The number one thing that causes disease is inflammation. You keep eating inflammatory foods, acid buildup, breaking down things, having it digest in the name of feeling good and pleasure. Your pleasure system is going crazy and it's killing you. And I'm not talking about I'm not talking about like a physical death. I'm talking about a spiritual death. And that's the world's death. But sometimes you got to die so you can come back and live. You got to set yourself on fire. You got to blow your world up. Because I'm going to tell you what happens when you use God and let God move in your life and you blow your world up. See, you and God can put it back together. See, God going to blow your life up, but also going to give you a path to put it back together. When the world blows it up, good luck with that. I said that on my last call. Good luck with that. When the world blow you up, I don't know what to say. You get on that road with the world, you get a little crazy. It's hard to get off there. It get a little sticky. For real. So I'm going to talk to you guys real quick, right? This is not just a raw vegan challenge. This is not just a raw vegan challenge. This is a spiritual immersion. This is the immersion. This is a process. I'm going to tell you something what I know to be true. If you don't do anything, nothing will change. If you do something, things will change. The only thing constant in this world is change. That's a constant. But if you do nothing, things will stay the same and the world will continue to change around you and you'll stay stuck. That doesn't mean you change. Everything's going to change. If you do nothing, you stay stuck. It will keep changing and you'll keep looking, trying to figure it out. Having that warfare. See, what I look at is I look at something like the world, like the population in the world that's overweight. Everybody knows what to do, but nobody wants to do it. You guys, a lot of you on the call know what to do. You know what you need to do. When are you going to do it? That's the nature of the world. When are you going to do it? When? So I said before, y'all, I'm going to say this again. I'm going to keep reiterating this on this call. I knew when I did these calls, that somebody needed to hear something. If you need a support system and a team and a group of people that are on the same journey as you, because if you want to go fast, sometimes you can go alone. And sometimes it works to have a system, things you can follow to a certain case to help you along your journey. I'm not telling you this is going to give you the journey. You join Raw Vegan Challenge. I'm setting it up based on my experience, y'all. That's what I did. You join. If you want to go, you can do whatever you want to do. It's up to you. You can go on Google. You can figure it out. You can go anywhere you want to get this information about being a raw vegan. It's everywhere. There are thousands of videos out there. But if you want to understand how you can use these fasting principles, cleaning your body on a cellular level, based on someone that's did it, then you come join. You join the team. I just wanted to. I'm completely satisfied with everybody on this call hearing what I had to say tonight. When we talk on Sunday, I just want to leave it. When we talk on Sunday, this is all going to come together in full totality. It is time for you to answer the call. Sometimes it takes courage to pursue a life that's calling you. It takes courage. But your phone will ring over and over and over again, and you will not answer that call. And guess what? Your battery dies because there's no charge there. There's no discernment. You won't answer the call. A lot of y'all, the phone been ringing, and you won't answer that call. And when you're not answering that call, you're not able to get into the space where you can use your gift because you haven't made room for it. And when you're not using your gift, life gets suffocating. It gets suffocating. You start suffocating yourself in mediocrity. You start suffocating yourself in the people, the places, the things that you don't want to be. You keep rolling around in these perpetual cycles of doing things that don't serve you, then leaving them, and then getting mad about them. And then because you're mad and you know you're not being who you're supposed to be, you go back to those things that don't serve you, and you keep doing it over and over again. And you run through this rut because you won't fast, you won't pray, you won't sacrifice, you won't cut ties. It's a cycle, and people live it all the way to the deathbed. And they get to the deathbed and say, "Well, man, I had good credit, and I paid off my house." What if you would have became that person? What if you would have tapped in and stopped doing things that you see other people doing because you know you can do them too? We are all human. Everybody bleeds and everybody breathes. You have a calling upon your life as well. The external is not going to give you it. I promise you guys right now, I'm going to tell you right now, you're not going to get the promise from this world. You won't get it from this world. Whatever promise that you think you're going to get from this world, it ain't coming. Because if it would have came, we would have got it by now. If you were who you were supposed to be, you would have got it by now. I promise you that. The promise is not coming from the world. Would have gave it to you. The world's a little predictable. It's out of control at times, but it usually runs as history repeats itself. You would have got it by now. It has to come from somewhere deeper. It has to come inside. It has to come with you standing tall. That's where it has to come from. Who's ready for that? I know it's a little rough and a hard pill to swallow. I know somebody probably never told it to you like this, but I can't. I have to. If I don't share it, then I'm not doing what I'm supposed to be doing. And if I don't do what I'm supposed to be doing, then life gets suffocating. That's what I want for you. Freedom. Who's ready? Who needs help? Because we don't live in a space where because we live in a space where there's a lot of distractions, sometimes it's good for us to band together and do this together. Become part of the G code. God, energy, elevation. Let's get it. Let's elevate. Say you're in. You're going to get an email to join the Raw Vegan Challenge if you want to, or I want you to get off of this live and go figure out what to do so you can go ahead and get in your space. Go fast, go pray, go do what you got to do. Go get a band of people. Go do what you got to do, or go sit in solitude. You and God, do something. Do not leave this call and overthink yourself out of the things you need to be doing like you've been doing for the last couple years. And then going to somebody whose life you don't want, asking their opinion, and y'all two talk about it in mediocrity. You don't even want their life, but you asking for their opinion. Keep getting opinions from people that whose life you don't want. What sense does that make? It's time, y'all. It's time. It's time to rise up. It's time to elevate. And I'm gonna tell you guys something right now. I'm not here to be here every day on live stream, y'all. I practice what I preach. There's a time I move out in this world and do what I'm supposed to do. And there's a time where I go back in seclusion and recharge myself and make sure my connection is there. So I'm not one of those guys that's just going to be here over and over and over again. I try my best to be here as much as possible. That's why I'll be like, G be here and he going for months. And yeah, I got necessarily obligations to this world because I am a human. I do have to establish resources that I can redirect into doing more what I'm supposed to be doing. Yes, I have that obligation. That takes time. But also, I don't have time to be all digital all day. Take it. Don't look for another message from me. This is the message. We're going to talk on Sunday, but if you need to do something, take it right now. I'm not one of them guys that just be here all day, every day, trying to get you to understand something, what you already know to be true inside you. That's not me. Sorry. I can't. I don't got that. I don't even got that motor. It starts to come off weird. So look, a lot of you been hurt. A lot of things have happened. But what I told you about in the past, God's not gonna cut you because of your past. It's about your future. A lot of you guys have done some things that you wasn't supposed to be doing. When you join the Raw Vegan Challenge, I'm gonna give you what you got. You got 14 days cellular detox. You got 14 days of motivational coaching calls with me. You got a community, right? You got whatever level you join, you get Raw Vegan coaching calls. You get an ebook that I wrote called 40 Steps to Healing. 40 Steps to Healing. Right? You get me in the kitchen. I even got to the point where I put some of my meals together based on what I know. Raw vegan recipes, detox smoothies, things that help you cleanse on a cellular level. That's what I packaged in here so you can have a thing that you can focus on, right? And try to make it a little bit easier with the food part, because I know this world is so processed. The food is so processed. We got all these chemicals and things running through our head, and we don't know what to do with them. We got parasites in our head, parasites in our body, and they making some of the decisions. And we think we in control and the food in control. You don't even know what's going on. Right? So I understand that. Spiritual warfare in the food, animals dying, they releasing stress hormones and cortisol. It ain't the same. People be like, well, there's animals in the Bible. Man, these ain't the same animals that was back then. I promise you that. We're going to talk about these ain't the same animals. These ain't those. So if that's your argument, these ain't those animals. I ain't telling nobody you got to be strictly vegan, but I'm just telling you, these ain't the same ones. Straight up. I'm going to put the link in the description of this video if you want to join. You got to make a decision for your life. If you don't do anything, nothing's going to change. Some of you going to get off this call and say, I got this. Life is going to take over and you might give up. Let's talk about like me in general. I didn't start off in business just being this business mogul or this guy. Like I didn't just start off having successful businesses. No, I had to start changing my environment first. I started with discipline. That came after in different levels. My next level of business, like I got it planned out for the next 5 years. It is amazing. Next 10 years, because I have so much clarity. Even when I first started my first businesses, I moved to Atlanta from Philadelphia with nothing but my car and my clothes. Never even been to Atlanta in my life. I slept in my car at times, slept on floors, blow up beds with holes in them. I used to wake up and be on the floor, y'all. I used to do some things in Philadelphia that I'm not proud of in my past. Maybe came to Atlanta with a little bit more, some of the BS, trying to shake it, then trying to build. I didn't just get to business. I had to clear it up a little bit, clean it up, make it, you know what I'm saying? I didn't know that God was guiding me the whole time. Even through the midst of the chaos, I was still being guided. When I was young, I used to play drums. I remember that. My mom played the piano. I remember that. That always stuck in my head when I was young. Nice little sweaty in Kensington, Florida. I'm in Kensington, Philadelphia, sweaty church. Box fans. I'm in there, young bulls. I got a sweater on and no undershirt, itchy, sleeping, going up, playing the drums. I remember that. Grandma was, sat in the front. Grandpop sat in the front. You know what I'm saying? I remember that. So when I was going through these things and changing my life, I was like, what's going on? I know I can't be this, but I know there's some things I got to do before I get to my next level. So a lot of you trying to make these levels, change, and you're not doing the work in between. That's just practical things. I'm not even talking about this deeper level spiritual thing. You're just not doing the work beforehand. You trying to make a jump without doing the work. Faith without work is dead. You got to do the work. So ask yourself, what's going to happen for you in 2 to 5 years if you don't make a change? What's going to happen if you don't make a change in 2 to 5 years? What's your next 2 to 5 years look like? Do you know? Or are you just going with it? You just letting people drag you along, letting the world drag you along. Have you made that declaration for your life? Can you see? Is your gut healthy? Are you spiritually healthy? Are you mentally healthy? Are you financially healthy? Do you want to be? Do you even feel like it's for you? Some of us have been beat down so long, we don't even think we're good enough. I can give you the framework too. I can give you the practices. But if you stay plugged into this world, it's not going to work. Are you ready? I need you to know right now on this call, if you are ready, I don't care what you do, just say I'm ready. Say I'm ready. I need 300. I got 1,000 people on this call. I need 300 people. I'm ready right now. I need you to say I'm ready. I need to feel that energy about your life. I don't care what you about to do. I don't care if you're joining raw vegan. I don't care if you about to go on a. I don't care if you about to go jump in the ocean. I don't care what to change your life. I need you to say I'm ready right now. I need 300 of them right now. Let's light this stream up. Let's break this algorithm and send this video out. Many people need this. I'm ready right now in the comments. Because I'm about to close, y'all. Who gonna be here on Sunday? Anybody that, if you're joining Raw Vegan today, you get access to all your documents today so you can get prepared for Monday. We start actually on Monday. If you're joining the challenge, you get all your documents today. And also when you join, make sure you pick the level that's for you, not the level that you think you want to do. This is how you start having discernment. When you see something and you know it's for you, pick that. So we got an intro. I got levels for everybody. The dope thing about all this is I got levels of life and experience for everybody. If you look at my YouTube content, I've given out so much. You go to my Instagram, there's a lot. If you go through Raw Vegan, you got a guide you can get. You can join with this. You got a guide. You got the intro package. You got VIP. You got general. You got platinum. In the platinum experience, I left all my courses in there. These are courses that I never released to the world, things that I always thought I wanted to release. So I said, I'm just going to put them in here about business, about your mind, unlearning, relearning, your subconscious mind, all these things that you need to know. A lot of this stuff, we do need some tools that we need to use in this world so we can understand the framework, that we know to be true. I ain't going to lie. I ain't going to act like I don't have framework. I do got framework. I've had framework for business and stuff like that. We do need framework. So that's what I'm leaving right now. But like I said, whoever you are on whatever level you at, you can be met there. That's what my goal was. You can be met there. Or I'm really giving you the clearance to make sure you do something. Go on Google right now and figure something out. There's a lot of information on Google. Just go figure it out, please. Please. Don't sleep on yourself no more. Don't sleep on yourself no more. Don't let the enemy do what the enemy likes to do. You know what they like to do? They like to see somebody with potential and you see them and they like to grab them and say, look what I did. They had so much potential. Now it's anxiety, depression. They never found out who they really were. They want to put you up on a wall like a pedestal and look, we got another one. Not today. Not today. Not here. Not with the G code. Come on, y'all, say not today in the comments. A lot of y'all been gripped up. A lot of y'all trying to fight a battle and it's already all up on you. You got to fast, pray, and sacrifice and get that out your life. You got to cut that cord. You got to. Your life does depend on it. If you've been walking through this world and you've been feeling soulless and you've been feeling like you don't got it no more, if the world just become mundane and everything just slowing down and it feels black and white and it feels like you can't make sense of nothing, it's time for you to cut that cord. It's time for you to fast. It's time for you to pray. It's time for you to sacrifice. It's time for you to do that, y'all. If you are on people asking questions, if you're on the email list, you're going to get an email. If you're not on the email list, I'm going to send a link in this video description and it's going to be in the comment. But not today, y'all. Not today. This is your time. Now, if you do fast for 14 days or however way you do it, you need to make sure you keep this in your life because this is going to help you. This is going to help you get to that level. This is going to help you continue to elevate. You got to be okay with not seeing. You got to be okay with it not happening on your time. This is your time right now. This is your time. No more. No more. It stops today. So look, man, I could stay here all night. I know we having an elevated experience right now. I know there's a move going on right now. I know there's a feeling of, something new coming for somebody right now. I know it. I can feel it because you wouldn't be here. Even for me, even as I speak to you guys, I speak to myself. I know what's going on right now. I know. Yeah, that feeling you got. Yeah, I know. I know who's feeling it right now. I got it too. I got it too. Listen, that's the truth right there, y'all. Sometimes when you get into these little instances and you get on and things happen by coincidence, that's the truth, y'all. What the world wants you to think, that's not the truth. Confusion and chaos, what God sends will come in clarity, not confusion, y'all. Sometimes God will isolate you so you can get yourself together. Sometimes God will hide you so he can anoint you. Sometimes you got to sit in the waiting room for a little bit. Sometimes you can't see. Sometimes it's dark. I'm here. I'm not saying anything, but just to give you some confirmation. Somebody that went through it. Somebody that went through it. I can't make this up. I can't make this up. You know what the crazy part is? The crazy part is we all got this rational mind, right? And our rational mind helps us with survival. It helps us make sense of things. And when there's a move in your life, like the rational mind would try to battle you. The thing that you thought you were friend, the thing you thought was your friend becomes like your worst enemy. Because trusting in God does not make sense rationally sometimes. Sometimes it doesn't make rational sense because you can't see. The rational mind likes to see 2 + 2 = 4. Sometimes when you go down that other path, the path where you can't see, 2 + 2 might equal 6. When 2 + 2 stop equal 4 in my life, when things start not making sense, that's when things actually started making sense. But they're not going to make sense, or they didn't make sense until I look back. I said in the beginning, sometimes when you have faith, it's only going to make sense in reverse. This only makes sense now, y'all. This would never have made sense to me 6, 7 months ago. This did not equal 4, so I wouldn't been able to see it. This equaled 6, 2 + 2. It wouldn't equal this. I didn't know. I still don't know sometimes. I still have a rational mind, y'all. I still struggle with it, trying to understand all the time. I know some of you do too. And I know sometimes it's taboo to think like that because it makes you feel like you're not the most spiritual person you're supposed to be, or you're not believing the way you're supposed to be. But I'm telling you right now, I understand. I truly understand. I'm telling you right now, okay, it's okay for 2 + 2 to not equal 4. And for you to trust that if it equals 6 or 7, as long as it's ordained by God, it's the right number for you. You can't care what it looked like. You can't care what it sounds like. You can't care what people think. You can't care what it's going to feel like. It might hurt at times. I'll be serious. I'll be true about it. Whoever you know yourself to be after you come out the fire, it pales in comparison to what you know to be true right now. I promise you right now, who I am right now pales in comparison to who I was before I went through the fire. You're talking to somebody that has a crazy rational brain that's been blessed to make complex things very simple. So my E equals MC squared, my 2 + 2 was my biggest battle, my mind. Even with knowing and being taught at a young age and then going away and having to come back and being shown, I still had to say, is this really happening? It's me trusting and believing going to work. And when I got down to the point of understanding if it's going to work or not, that's none of your business. That was none of my business. It's not none of your business. You've been trying to make it work for a long time. But once you give it away, it's time for you to give it away. I only need one person to understand this. Not for everybody, but I hope it is for everybody. I told you in the beginning of this live, when I started, if anything touches your soul, if anything resonates as truth, if it makes you feel a certain way, don't praise me. Praise God. I know we are conversating and having an experience through digital medium, but my spirit is overwhelmed right now with what I see right now. If we took all 1,000 of these people, all of you that's in here, and we sat in one space, the roof would be on fire. And I know this is our form of communication at this moment, but I'm grateful for it. I'm grateful. I thank all of you for getting on here and listening. At some point in time, when you think I'm helping you, you're helping me just as much. And that is my truth. So I'm going to say this as I leave this call. I know some of you are tired. I know some things have been hanging on you for a long time. I know you've been going back and forth with decisions in your mind. Give it away. I know you're unhealthy in some areas, physically, mentally, and emotionally. Give it away. I know there's some toxic relationships that you're having. Give them away. I know there's some unhealthy food that you can't stop eating. Give it away. I'm going to tell you why. Your mind doesn't want it to happen. Your flesh definitely doesn't want it to happen. But your spirit wants it. And I don't have a magic answer for you, but that you have to force it. Force and press into the spirit. You may take 10 steps forward and 12 steps back. You may take 5 steps forward and 4 steps back. This is not about being perfect. This is about the pursuit. Don't let anyone judge you along your journey. Don't let anyone tell you what you're doing is wrong. Don't let anyone subscribe their thoughts into your mind anymore. Do not let the impressions of this world be what you surrender to. These are the things you need to know. This is how you equip yourself with armor. And this is how you move out in this world on fire. You go through it. You want the fire, go through the fire. If you want the fire, go through the fire. I'm over my call time limit that I had scheduled for today. But this is not on my time right now. This is not on my time right now, y'all. We still here. But I'm about to close. I know some people that have signed up to be on a more intimate call with me after this. And I'm going to see you guys soon. I want you to know this last piece of information before I go, y'all. I want you to really get this statement and hold it the truth. Please hold this in your soul and in your heart. And just use me as an example. I'm going to say it one more time. The things you have to go through, the reason why you're fasting and praying and sacrificing, the reason why you're going to be cut, it's not about who you were. It's about who you can be. I am a living witness. I did not get cut from my past. I did not go through the fire because of my past. I went through it for what will become my future. My future 3 months ago was this. It's now my present, talking to you. Use me as a testimony. Use me as an example. Share this with 5, 10, 20,000 people. Just start texting this out. Just start texting this. Just start, when this live goes off, just start sending it out to people. Don't even tell them what it is. Just say, watch this. I'm giving you permission to use me. Now, with that being said, this is my last call for today. We have a call on Sunday. Let me give you guys some parameters about the Raw Vegan Challenge, the Detox Challenge, and how Sunday, God's original design for food, is going to play into all of this. If you are joined already, you have an email right now. You can click the link, sign up, choose your level, whatever makes the most sense for you. If you're not joining, just on a YouTube call, there'll be a link in the description. I'll put a comment in the comment section. The other thing is, if you don't care to do Raw Vegan Challenge with us, that's fine. Just please do something. For anything that I've talked to you about on this call, do something for your life. There's a lot of information out here. There's a lot of different people out here that can guide you as well, that can help you, right? If it's not me, it's cool. I'm cool. Doesn't matter. But understand this last truth. If you do nothing, nothing will change. If you do something, everything can change. So if you want change, do something. That's my time. I bless all you guys on this call. I pray that you have a good sleep and a good night, that you wake up, thoughts are clear, discernment is clear, and you feel you know what you need to do for your life, that I gave you a little bit of clarity, maybe a lot of clarity, maybe something that you need to know, maybe just one thing. That's what I hope. So as we close this call, get to know each other. I got to go. But with extreme gratitude, I appreciate you being here. God, energy, elevation. That's the G code. I'll see y'all on Sunday. Peace.